do believe the computer's a bit stuttery. Why, computer? Why are you being stuttery? Oh, sorry. Coffee time. It's all happening. My computer has decided to have a funny turn. But hey, we're doing the news again. Not anyone's watching. Hopefully. It's because I turned my computer off and turned it on again. And it gets a little bit, you know, a little bit stuck. Gets a little bit stuck. Good news, everybody. Centrica, which owns British Gas, has reported a profit increase of £1.34 billion. This is half-year profits, mind. It's seen a fivefold of profits, fivefold increase in profits. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? Yeah. This is compared to last year. It was only 262 million. So wait a minute. So all the gas and electricity prices have gone up. Everyone's, you know, saying, "Oh, you've got to pay more because the wholesale cost has gone up." And sorry, I've just got to get my head around this. Centrica, who owns British Gas, has reported a fivefold profit. I think we're being mugged. I think we're being conned here. But good news, they're projecting now that in this coming January 2023, the average household could be looking at a £500 per month combined energy bill. We're all going to be. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. We're already running on fumes, so that's that. But hey, as long as your shareholders are happy at Centrica, meanwhile, National Union students have reported that 1.2 million graduates are not earning enough to begin to pay off their student loans. It's a new record for them because they blame it on wage stagnation and poor quality employment coming out of the pandemic. I've never forgiven the Labour Party for privatising the further education industry. Never forgiven them. Or was it higher education? I don't know. Tony Blair, it's all your fault. This was interesting today. And I watched this. This was the first time that an English court has had cameras broadcasting live. It was a landmark broadcast where Judge Sarah Monroe QC was sentencing Ben Oliver. He admitted to killing his grandfather. His grandfather was disabled because he had a stroke, and there are accusations that he may have been he may have acted inappropriately around children, and this pushed Ben Oliver over the edge. This is somebody who was increasingly vulnerable. Again, he'd been in trouble with the law before. He was supposedly on the autistic spectrum, and the pandemic had unhinged him as well. Lockdown. And we watched the sentencing, and it was really interesting because they showed you how they break down the sentencing. And again, Ben Oliver himself was a convicted molester. I think he's more into the pornography side of things. And this video is going to get demonetised. So yeah, it's a pretty murky case. But it showed you how they broke down the sentencing. And it was just such a horrible, grim. I mean, personally, I think he should have got more. I think he should have got longer because he got 10 years. I think he should have got longer. because they've deemed him to be a danger to the public, and I don't think he should ever come out. He should be in Broadmoor. But hey, that's just my opinion. But it was very, very interesting to see the case and how they broke it down. Indeed, this is some of the broadcast of her breaking down the sentencing. Fascinating. And this is Ben Oliver and his grandfather, who he murdered quite savagely and brutally. But yeah, it was a horrible case. Like I said, he should be just sent to Broadmoor for the rest of his life. In sad news, Bernard Cribbins, the legend, had a 70-year career in entertainment, died aged 93. This comes shortly after his wife had died. He's recently been pictured reappearing in Doctor Who, because he appeared in that show. I mean, we remember him, us old farts remember him from Jackanory. He used to do readings on that, and the Wombles. It was in everything back in the day when we were kids. And yeah, it's sad, but he did come back. It's a long time ago now to be in Doctor Who, and they've reused him. Hopefully they've got enough footage. But yeah, he was in the Railway Children and a number of the Carry On movies. You name it, he was in it. 40 Towers, Old Jack's Boat on CBeebies. Oh, I used to watch that with the kids, with Salty the dog. Oh, I used to like that one. So yeah, it's sad, but he had an amazing career, and he's a legend. But we can't live forever, unfortunately. Meanwhile, it's come out that mystery over spike in COVID deaths on hottest day ever. Well, again, you've got to remember, COVID affects the respiratory system. Air quality can be poor on hot days, and yeah, they've got a picture. They've got a picture of something. I don't know what this is, but there's a spike apparently. But yeah, in extreme heat, you will see a rise in deaths. The elderly, again, people with asthma. It's a thing, so don't get alarmed. Don't get alarmed. You're going to see that. You're going to see a rise in unexplained deaths, because again, a lot of people were denied access to healthcare. There's a lot of cancers that have been undiagnosed. There's the NHS and our doctors are playing catch up. Remember, I was diagnosed with diabetes without actually seeing a doctor. It was done over the telephone, so who knows? It could be something else, couldn't it, really? But yeah. Right, should we have a funny? Okay, let's go to the this is the Coastal Defence Museum in Poland, and they've had to put out a request to their guests. It's part of the former 19th century Prussian fortress, the Fort Gerhard Museum in the coastal town of Swineski. I've mangled that one. Have put out a request. Let's see some pictures. Here we go. And it looks like this as well. But what did they have to do? Well, they've installed the new CCTV system, and they didn't have one in the past. But once they reviewed the footage from this new CCTV system, they noticed that visitors to the museum like to indulge in a bit of "How's your father?" In fact, it was quite a problem, and so they've put out a sign, a request to stop, ask visitors to refrain from having sex. On the social media page, the Coastal Defence Museum has written, "Our guests are kindly requested, how can we put it, no ars amandi, the art of love, in the museum, please." Because that's a problem. Because I don't know about you, but I tell you what makes me rounding is seeing gun emplacements like this. This stuff really gets the horn up, doesn't it? What the... Oh, I've put you in the mood. Yeah, no, okay then. So this is the story of well, this is a battle between the residents of a cul-de-sac near Cardiff. Here we go. Here they are. They've been in battle with the council. Rob Lee, Vaughan and Alison Williams. Why? What's happened? Well, the council, they're making various new developments in the area because, you know, housing, we need more housing. But they've lost their battle to demolish this house. This house was built less than 20 years ago. It's worth 300 grand and they're demolishing it. And it's like, why? Why are they demolishing it? Well, it goes a bit Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They're turning it into a cycle path. Yes, they're demolishing an entire house, perfectly good house, for a cycle path. And the residents have tried to fight it. And they've lost. And that seems like just planning insanity. I mean, if you look at the map here, there's some garages. Look, they could just do a compulse purchase on those garages and turn that into the cycle path rather than getting rid of a perfectly good house. I mean, even over here, I don't know if you can see, to the right hand side of the map there's some land and you could just like put it joins the current road. I mean, that just seems utterly bizarre. But hey, councils round here, we fought successfully against a development. They was going to develop a big piece of land called Jessel Green, and they wanted to build hundreds and hundreds of homes on this land, and we beat them. And it was quite interesting because one of the councillors who were in favour it said, "Oh yes, I know that area. I think I've driven through there once." And that's it. They don't live here. You know, these people very rarely actually live in the areas. They're the councillors. They make these decisions for areas in which they have no dealings with, which is a little bit annoying, isn't it? Right. What else is there? Is there anything good? Yeah, this is a story that's been rumbling on. This is a family from Baltimore. They were at where was it? It was where was the SeaWorld's park, and there's an attraction there called Sesame Place, which is based on the Sesame Street franchise. It's a themed amusement park, and they were there, and they were their daughters, and one of the characters, I just put up called Rosita, apparently ignored the two children, and the family say that this is racism because the character didn't ignore other children there. Now again, I wasn't there, I can't comment, but there does seem to be like a float coming, so maybe the character was just trying to get out of the way before being run over by the float. There may be mitigating circumstances. I don't know if you've ever been to these things, but sometimes the characters may be, you know, have their view obscured, you know, or maybe they really are racist Sesame Street workers. But yeah, Sesame Workshop put out a oh, we've actually got some footage here, and I don't know if you can see. I don't think the character is actually ignoring them because it waves. It's waving to them. Look, let's see, it waves to the children. See, but then moves on, and they seem a bit disappointed. I think again, this is life. Life, kids. Things are disappointment. Things are disappointing or a disappointment sometimes, but they did put out a statement saying, yeah, we were investigating it. But now the family are taking them to court and are suing Sesame Street theme park for $25 million. Look, why didn't they just settle for an apology and some free tickets? You know, when they do that, it makes it look like they're doing it for the money. You know, they could have got maybe a lifetime free pass instead. You know, rather than you know, going for the big payout. It makes you feel like there's something not right. You know, but I don't know. I wasn't there. We've only seen that footage. It could have been, you know. Good news, everybody, from North Korea. Kim Jong-un. Remember him? He slimmed down. Yeah, slimmed down. He's made a proclamation. What's that then? He's ready to use nuclear weapons on both the United States and South Korea, which is nice, isn't it? So we've got Russia threatening nuclear war, and now North Korea. But have you seen the price of Lurpak? Hey, have you seen the price of Lurpak? So yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything will be just fine. I don't think so. I think we're in trouble. I think. Meanwhile, YouTube star PewDiePie, who remembers him? He's in trouble. He's in trouble because he was making fun of someone on TikTok. That's that's all right, isn't it? Because they do these roasts where they what I don't know what YouTube. Does anyone use YouTube? Because he's a YouTuber. I don't know what that is. But he goes on there and he critiques TikTokers, which is, well, we already know that they're stupid, so good on old PewDiePie there. But the 32-year-old Swedish video maker fell foul of his viewers because he was having a here is a picture of this YouTuber. Sorry, he's a YouTuber, she's a TikToker. Get it right, Darren. Because of her nails, he was mocking her nails. But it turns out she was deaf. And everyone's saying, oh, he's having a go at a deaf woman. But he said, I didn't know she was deaf. But apparently, that's the thing. And you go, do you know what? I've lost interest just even reading that, because it's not really a news story, is it? Does anyone care? A YouTuber critiques a TikToker. It's like, what? We got Kim Jong-un threatening all-out nuclear war. You know? We got that happening. And they're worried about PewDiePie. It's like, really, Daily Mail? You've let me down. You've let me down with that story. I don't think that's even worth reading. Meanwhile, let's go to Ukraine. Good news, everyone. Thousands of Ukrainians have signed a petition. What for? Over 2,500 people have signed a petition, right, to make Boris Johnson their Prime Minister. Here he is, our ex-fluffy-haired leader. Yeah, he is so well respected in Ukraine that they want some Boris. Who doesn't want a bit of Boris? Well, the ladies can't resist, so I think, yeah, it's great. So it's actually gone up. I think it's gone up to over 5,000 now. And if it gets to a certain window, is it 25,000? Then Zelensky's going to have to kind of bring it up in his parliament and talk about it. So, yeah, but apparently there's even murals dedicated to Boris Johnson in Kiev because he's so well respected. Yeah, so well respected. It's amazing, isn't it? How about branding news, marketing news? Greggs, you like Greggs? Yeah, everyone loves Greggs. Greggs sausage rolls, they're all right. They don't do the old cheesecakes anymore. You know. Again, America's probably like, do they call them like a London cheesecake? I don't know. Somewhere else, it's the dessert with the coconut and icing on top. Not a cheesecake, which is a completely different proposition. The old-fashioned cheesecakes, I like. They don't do them anymore. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. You'll be happy to know that you can wear Greggs wherever you go. Yeah, they've teamed up with Primark to bring out these sling-back clogs Yeah, and they're good. Yeah, but there's going to be a whole range of Greggs items for sale in Primark. There's going to be a Greggs, obviously, t-shirts, football jerseys, hoodies, cycling shorts. You can even get a bum bag and tote bags with the Greggs logo on. But the shoes, I think the shoes are definitely a standout thing. There we go. You can wear them on your feet. Wear them on your... Hey. So, court news. Okay. This is the story of Charles Hobbs. He's from Plymouth, and he's up in court because he's been a very bad boy. He's up in court. Let's have a picture of him. Remember, folks, if you see him coming, run the opposite direction. He's very easily identified by the tattoo on his neck. But yeah, he's up in court. What's he done? He's been charged with 3 counts of rape and sex assault. He's pleaded guilty to all counts, and he claims that the encounters were consensual. But one aspect of his defence is quite remarkable. You see, he claims to be a medium. I used to be a medium. Said so on my underpants. The missus is she's laughing at these old jokes. She's giggling. She's giggling as she's eating her sandwiches. I trot out the old classics. And yeah, he claims to be a medium. And he told his victims, his victim, not victims, he's told his victim that the spirits told him to do it. It was the spirits telling him to, not the ones that come out of a bottle, but from the other world, from the, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that defence is going to work, do you? I don't think so either. I think that was not a good idea. But anyway, let's go to the beach. Who wants to go to the beach? Let's go to Welsh Wales. And experts have told people to be very careful when you go to the beach in Wales. Why is that? What's happened? Well, they reckon the weaver fish is out there. Be careful. Do not step on the weaver fish. Why? Because it's very poisonous, and you can find yourself in excruciating pain. And one person described it as bad as childbirth, but that's poisonous dorsal fins that, again, you can tread on. I think it hides in the sand, and you tread on it. Normally they're found in deeper water in the winter months, but in the summer they come inshore, and they bury themselves in the sand. And they recommend that you immerse your foot in hot water for about 30 minutes to draw out the poison, but it has to be really hot, as much as you can handle. And if you get a spine, you've got to pull it out with tweezers. But do not touch the spine with your bare hands. Such is the nature of the poison. So there's a warning if you're paddling off the coast of Wales. It's not good, is it? Meanwhile, more beach news. This is Ghana. This is Jamestown Beach in the Ghanaian capital of Accra, and it's an environmental disaster. What is it? It's used clothing. I reckon many of it, much of it, has come from the UK, and it's been dumped by local traders, because we send our clothing, to third world countries to sort and recycle and reuse, and they reckon that they've got so much of this stuff that they've started dumping it in the sea. 40% of the clothing that arrives in Ghana is just waste material, and it's an absolute horrible thing that's happening. It's just crazy. And that's what happens. Remember, when you buy your clothes and you get rid of them, they go somewhere, and often go to the third world. It's like all of our recycling and our waste. It goes far, far away. Meanwhile, let's go to, what would you call it again? More court news? This is a story of a funeral director in North London, in Northwest London, in Wembley. What did they do? Well, they obviously must have run out of space, because they started to store bodies in a self-storage unit in Wembley, and they arrested a 50-year-old man on suspicion of keeping the decaying corpses in non-refrigerated conditions. Yes, these corpses were in various states of decomposition in pallets, and apparently maggot-ridden as well. Oh. But I mean, it's really strange. A spokesman for the police said 4 bodies were recovered at the premises, which did not have specialist equipment installed. It sounds like he's gone to one of those lock-up self-storage places. How awful! And but all of the deceased were elderly. The deaths aren't suspicious, but they're trying to establish the identity of the deceased and notify the affected families. But yeah, how bizarre. Maybe just run out of space. Who knows? Oh, this is a holiday maker Isabella Prusak James. She was on an EasyJet flight from London to Malaga last week when she dislocated her jaw at 40,000 feet. How did she do it? She yawned and put her jaw out. Here she is. Something for the dads here. Here we go. But there is footage of her popping the jaw, having her jaw pop back into place, which looks a bit. But yeah, all because she yawned. Can you believe that? But what we can do is we can look at some of her social media posts instead. Like I say, something for the dads. There we go. Really, Daily Mail. Do you really need this? I don't think this is what the news is it? Is this the news? But yeah, be careful when you dislocate your jaw, because you're young, because you could dislocate your jaw and have your bikini pictures put on the Daily Mail website. Good news, everyone. They've discovered a new viper in the Zaru Valley in Jinghuahu County in China. I think this is a picture of him. He looks a stunning chap, but good news. It's good news. Why is it good news? It's not good news. Gloidius lateralis, his venom is so potent that it can disable human victims. The species has a small body of around 18 inches, large eyes, and a murky green or brown colour with 4 rows of zigzag dark brown patches, so you can identify him. And here we go. Here's a picture of him, just in case you need to see him. Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be fine. But Dr. Sheng Chao Shi, who's an expert, he's one of the team who documented the species, emphasised the potency of the venom. He said the Gloidius lateralis is venomous. To our knowledge, all species of genus of Gloidius are, but I don't think its bite is mild. Bites of Gloidius accompanied with lots of pain and may cause physical disability when not treated in time. Their venom contains blood poison and can cause swelling, but most of the time they're not lethal. But the effects of this species' venom needs further study. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll find them on the streets of Catford next Tuesday. But good news, everybody. Mayor Khan has announced a 3.1 million scheme to plant trees in London. Now, again, if you're of a certain vintage, you'll remember that most of London was tree lined. You know, where we grew up in Leytonstone, tree lined. Every road had trees running down it. And then, when was it? Late 80s, early 90s, they cut all the trees down, got rid of them. Why? Because birds don't like birds. Birds poop on people's cars and things, nonsense like that. And they cut all the trees down. And now they're going to put them all back again. What next? They'll be using glass bottles to deliver milk on electric vehicles. Good news, everyone. The UK sea level is rising at an accelerated limit. Met Office reveals the ocean is now rising by up to 0.2 inches every year, which is now 6.5 inches higher than it was in 1990. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Animal news, and we'll end it here. This is Claudia Carter. She got fed up. What has she got fed up? She got fed up searching for a tortoise, Elmo, because Elmo, here she is with Elmo. There they are together. Because Elmo's a bit of an escapologist. He's a Houdini of the tortoise world. And she said she basically spent hours. The 20-year-old spent hours searching for him. And she came up with a plan. Here's another picture of him. Here he is. I think he's trying to escape now. Look at him. He's got a bit of a cheeky face. You tell he's planning. He's always planning something. But yeah, she came up with an idea. What she's done is she's tied a balloon to him like this, so he can never go missing again. And she's posted these videos on the social medias, on the old TikToks, where she's got 82,000 views and 12,000 likes. But it's one way of spotting Elmo. Now, again, shall we all play Spot Elmo? It's a new game we've got. Ready? On the count of 3. Can anyone spot him? Yay! We can all spot him. Or she could have used one of those Apple AirTags and stuck that to his shell. Couldn't she? And anyway, that's been our animal story, and we'll end it there. I think I've done enough damage for today. Let's see if there's anyone in the chat room. Oh, I went on a bit longer today. I went on a bit, didn't I? Let's have a butcher's hook. Is anybody in there? Oh, there's loads of people in today. Shane says, last episode of Neighbours just finished. Well, that's nice. I couldn't give a monkeys. Harry says, alright Darren, sad news about Cribbins. Yeah, but no one lives forever. But I'm planning to. James G says, I'm here early. Yes, about Bernard Cribbins, who's a big favourite in 93. He's a good Indian, absolutely. Naz is upset because he just heard about Bernard Cribbins. Sorry to bring that to you. A driver says Kim Jong-un is about stupid enough to do it too. Well, he's British educated. He's a lot more Western than you realise. And Gyro can't believe that there are murals to our fluffy-haired leader. They love him in the Ukraine because, you know, he was one of the first Western leaders to get stuck in and actually supply them with troops. Sorry, not going to say that. With training and stuff. Got to be careful what you say. I remember when Boris first talked about it, and he said, "Oh yes, we've sent them some helmets," and he was basically went because that's his, you know, because he can't say what he's done. Because if he says, then Putin will get upset. So he's got to say, well, it's helmets, you know. Yep, Tommy Cooper used to be a medium too. Andrew's in, he said, good morning. Those weaver fish are nasty, beware. It's like pastry all over again, exactly. We only get adders here in Cornwall, says Andrew, though I've never seen any. Well, got to be careful. Driver says, Daily Mail, I thought you were reviewing the news. Well, I do it from Daily Mail every day because it's a good selection of news stories and you don't have to pay for it. It's not behind a paywall. It's all there and you get a nice variety of stories. It's not like the newspaper. The website is different and you get lots of stuff. That's without the sidebar of shame. Something always for the dads in the sidebar of shame. And Driver loves that there are no snakes. No, because they drove them all out, didn't he? Old Was it St Patrick drove out the snakes, I believe. Harry said, "Oh, my grandmother looked after a friend's tortoise years ago. It got eaten by ants." Yeah. Driver says, "Leytonstone Only Irish pub, great venue." Nah. That was the Green Man. Crikey, that's how old I am. And that's that. So thank you for watching. We'll do this all again soon. That's it. That was the news. Drink it up. Ta-da!